For my chosen area, so computing and computer science, I felt like after A levels, I needed more info, like sort of more teaching on, because I hadn't specialized at that time. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to get into.
Welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, course, and year?
Alistair, my course was computing, and I've just graduated, so I've finished fourth year.
And would you like to mention your hometown?
Hometown, London, Crystal Palace.
So, could you remind us of the course you took?
Pardon?
Could you remind us of the course you took?
Oh, computing.
And why did you choose your course?
To be honest, it's a nice one for people who don't really know what they want to do specifically, because computers are in everything. Like you can go into law doing computers, you can go into music doing computing, you can go into accounting doing computing. At the bare minimum, everyone needs a website or an app or something like that. So it's really broad, but at the same time, it's kind of like a trade. So the skills you get from like software engineering and understanding how the tech world works will lead to future jobs and stuff like that. And I've been doing computing since about year 10, started on Code Academy. So I've always had an interest in something that was like problem solving. So like maths and artistic and creative at the same time. And I feel like computing's just that.
And what do you think of your course? Obviously, you finished now. What do you think of your course as a whole?
As a whole, to be honest, it was really good compared to because I had done computing in A level, and there's not really, and at the time, because it's really a new thing starting now, implementing it into schools and sort of sixth form. So I kind of had to change my school to do computing and go to a school that was like an hour away just for me to study computing. And even the course itself, most of the stuff you learn in A level doing computing is the exact same stuff you learn in first year of uni. So it made it a lot easier. But yeah, it was like that.
So did you come from a college or sixth form background?
Oh, sixth form.
And in sixth form, what subjects did you take?
Art, maths, and computer science, and sociology in year 12.
Did any of the subjects help you for your course?
Oh, definitely. Maths and computer science will be a given because you need maths to do computing anywhere, and then computer science itself is just the same as what I do at uni. So yeah, and then a bit of art because like there's also a creative side to what you're doing.
And what do you think the best A-level / subjects are for your course?
If you can't do computing, then just straight up maths.
Those two, maths and computing.
Yeah, if you can't do computing, it's definitely maths because it's all about problem solving. And if you've got a brain wired for problem solving, then computing and computer science will come easy to you.
Okay, so if we go into the university you're at, which is
Bournemouth, yeah.
We're going to talk about the best and worst things about studying at Bournemouth in the last 4 years. If we talk about the worst things.
Worst would be, I don't know. I feel like the university itself, although it's a campus university, there's not a lot of, it's not that big. So as far as like events for socializing and stuff like that, it's not, you have to kind of go out and search for it. It's not like regularly available or something like that. But that might be a problem like in all other unis or something like that. But the sense of community is not, it's not there that much. People are sort of like separated into their own little areas. So I feel like, yeah, that would be kind of the worst bit. But
everything that's been bad about studying, kind of just the community feel when it comes to Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly. Even that sort of like starting study groups and stuff like that. There's loads of little group activities that you have to do, but outside of the task, there's nowhere to really like kind of connect with the people unless you go out your way to do it.
And what are the best things about studying at Bournemouth University?
Best things, there's been a lot of change. Even since my first year to graduating in this year, there's been a lot of development. So you can see that the university is on the rise and it's picking up and it's trying to improve and get better at everything that it's doing. So it's definitely a plus. Definitely a plus.
Okay. So sorry.
But yeah, teachers pretty good. Specific teachers, especially for my course, specific teachers, if you know sort of what you're trying to get out of the course. Definitely good teachers for you to go to for guidance and stuff like that.
Can we go into accommodation for the last 4 years?
Yeah,
Where did you live in your first year?
houses, charming stuff. I've
And
been in houses since first year.
tell us about what it was like living in Charminster.
To be honest, it's especially for your first year, it's very disconnected because first year is the year where you like sort of try and build your friendship groups and try to socialize a lot. And I was pretty lucky because I had loads of friends in halls and stuff like that. So I'd always just go over to Cranbourne and stuff like that for prees and stuff like that to just socialize and build my network with people. But definitely one thing to keep in mind when you're going into first year is don't go straight into a house. I wouldn't advise it. Even though like the scare of it, like, oh, I don't have anywhere to live unless I'm going into a hotel. Especially now, they've built a lot of new accommodation, so accommodations regularly available now. But back when I was in first year, like the list and the waiting list for accommodation was long, and loads of people would just be in hotels. But the thing you got to keep in mind is after like sort of the Christmas time, there's a lot of people that drop out of uni. They just realize uni's not for them, and there will be spaces in halls for you. And definitely halls would be the best place as a first year. So yeah, that's the
What was it
best
like
option.
living in a house for the whole 4 years?
First year was rough, but after that, it's really good, especially in Winton, because I was in Charminster and Winton. And if you pick your location properly, especially for Bournemouth, Winton area is pretty good. Like it's very catered towards students and everything's regularly available. And sort of not paying for washing and stuff like that. And having less than like because it's like 8 or 9 people in halls, whereas a house is just like 4 to like maybe 6 people.
So what was
Yeah,
bad about your first year and housing? What mistakes did you make?
mistakes. You're very disconnected, and it's like I was lucky because I was in a society, I was in a sports team, and I had people that I could go to and be like, "Oh, what's going on?" Because as a first year, you don't know anything. Like you're fully fresh, and you don't know what wears up, what wears down. So having people tell you, "Okay, this is what you do. Like get an A-list card, do this, do that," is very important. And being in the house sort of like separates you from everyone else who's in halls, because everyone at that time in first year, it's like hundreds of people going out at the same time, socializing and doing stuff together. So it's easier to just like make friends and stuff like that.
Okay. So from what you've seen, obviously you said they created some new accommodations. What do you think the best Bournemouth accommodation is?
What during first year, it would have been like Dorch without question, but they've built new ones and they've
Can you tell
refurbished
what
stuff.
Dorches, sorry.
Or Dorchester,
That's fine.
Dorchester House. Yeah, it would definitely be Dorch during first year, but those were like that was the prime one during my first year, and they've now made like home park and all these other accommodations. So at this current moment in time, I'm so disconnected from it. I have no idea. But at that time, Dorchester was popping.
So did you take a placement year for your course?
Yeah.
And can you tell us about that placement year, where it was at and how it was doing a placement year?
Oh, okay. So my placement, yeah, I did it in Bournemouth. I was working for a data mining company, and I was working as a full stack developer. So basically, just doing designs like front end and back end stuff as as a software developer, everything from start to finish for mobile applications, web applications. I did some scripts, some SQL scripting, and made some .NET applications for communicating with APIs and stuff like that. So it's just very technical. Loads of stuff like doing a placement year helps in letting you know sort of if you're interested and if you're actually committed to go into the field or not. It's definitely a good thing to have under your belt if you're doing a degree. Just having a placement to actually confirm that, okay, after this degree, I can do this for 10s and 20 years in the future.
And what do you think of your placement? Was it good, bad?
It was very good because as a placement student, the best options is either to work for a really small company or work for like a really big company. Those would be the best options. And I was working for a small company. So the thing that made it great is that you're in a small company, so you have direct access to every department. Like you have direct access to HR, your team leader, the boss, the CEO, and everyone is in close proximity. So you get to see everything. Like the highlight of my placement was getting to see how a company actually hires new employees. So that informed me now when I'm applying for jobs, I get to see, okay, when I was on placement and they were looking for a new developer, it wasn't just about their CV or their past experiences. It's like during the interview, what they're looking for is I have to work at least 48 hours with this person during the week for the next, I don't know, 10 to 20 years. So how are they like? Are they sociable? Are they into the same stuff that I'm into? And do they come off as someone that I would like to invite to my house or go out to dinner with or just talk to as well? And that's like another side that I wouldn't have thought of if I hadn't seen after someone leaves an interview, the boss is talking about, okay, yeah, they were all right and they are technical, but at the same time, they seem a bit needy. They seem like they're not social. They seem like they wouldn't fit exactly well into this job. And then whereas in addition to that, working for a big company, it kind of helps you understand how people are being managed and how to be part of your little team as far as the bigger picture as well. So definitely recommend that.
So what would you consider a big company and a small company? Where would the medium come into the situation?
What's kind of that's that's a good question. I'd say you can sort of tell. Should I say international? I'll say if the company is international, it's pretty big, but at the same time, they are pretty big local companies. But if the employee numbers, like in your department, if you did IT in your department, if the numbers are in the hundreds, I'd say that's a big company.
And a small company would be
be in the tens, yeah, definitely. If your entire department's in the tens.
1 to 10 small, 100 plus big.
Yeah, definitely.
So if we go more now into the Bournemouth area,
mm-hmm.
What can you tell us about the Bournemouth nightlife?
The nightlife, well, with COVID now, it's a bit of a long lost memory, but nightlife is decent. I remember during first year, you could go out literally every day. There was a motive for you, and it's one of those things like as you come to uni, it's part of the uni experience. You want to just be socializing, having fun, going out and stuff like that. So the nightlife in Bournemouth is very good. It's very good. It depending on what you're into, there's a little bit of something for everyone type of thing. There's a bit of EDM there, bit of house music, bit of drum and bass, bit of hip hop. Like there's a place for everyone and every type of group. Pardon?
What's the club to go to?
The club.
The club to go
The
to.
club. Everyone goes Cameo. That's just the standard. But Lost is a shout on a Monday. Lost on a Monday. Cameo on a Wednesday. That's definitely a motive. So, and then for specifically students, it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, there's one, because it just depends on how you're feeling. But definitely top of the list would just be like off of numbers and experience would be Cameo, but Lost is a close second.
And if you went back to your first year, what would your layout for your week be for a student if they were going out every single day? What would your layout
every
be?
Day?
So we start with Lost Mondays.
Yeah, Lost Mondays. Then it was Toast. I never went Toast, but Lost Mondays, Toast on the Tuesday. Wednesday is Cameo. Thursday you can go Lost again, or I think Thursday was just Lost again, and then Friday is Lollipop, which is the student union event. So it's Monday to Friday. Saturday you can go Cameo again. Sundays is Snakebite.
So it's literally something every day to do something.
Every day.
So if we go more into like shops, obviously you said you come from London where it's busy city centre. What are the shops compared from London, which is obviously busier and it's got more common shops compared to Bournemouth? Has Bournemouth got the same kind of feel, or is it more smaller shops and common shops?
It's definitely smaller. Like the closest thing, you kind of have to jump on a train and go Southampton if you want to get that London feel. But Bournemouth is like, it's got the necessities. Like it's got a Zara there and H&M, but it's only like one locally. And then the shopping centres, you kind of have to go here. There's H&M, the Zara, a small one. There's a Primark there, and whatever in the town centre, which is like 20 minutes away. That's where you usually go. Or you can go Castle Point, which is like a 40-minute bus drive, 20-minute journey. Then there's a gap and all this other stuff that you can get into Top Shop and stuff like that. Or you can go even further out, go to Pool, and then you kind of get that feel of, okay, this is a retail park. So they've got everything from A to Z, like JDs and everything like that.
Okay, and what are the food variety shops like? Are there like again the common ones, or is there good kind of options?
To be fair, things have been coming up because now there's like the Five Guys, the Taco Bells, and the TGIs have been developed at BH2. So that's something new that has come. Whereas before that, like this all came in sort of January times from first year. But before that, all the students were always complaining that there's literally nothing. You have to go out so far to get sort of like that fast food stuff that you used to, and the cinema wasn't really refurbished and everything. But now there are those options. There's a Five Guys, there's Taco Bell, there's a Seven Bone, which is a great shout. There's a Yo Sushi. Like there's loads
What's
and
the
loads of
shop?
variety.
What's
The shop,
what's your food shop?
food shop. Like if I'm going out to have dinner or a day or something like that, just hit up Native. It's a quick £5.
And can you
Good
tell us what
food.
native is?
Native is Afro-Caribbean shop, so they've got that hard food for you. So plantain, jerk chicken, jollof, all that good stuff. Black eyed peas, everything.
Okay, so what advice would you give to students in general, first years?
Mm.
What general advice would you give what general advice would you give first year students about to start university?
Oh, if you're about to start university, it might change a little bit because things are kind of in an unstable place. But the general advice would definitely be you are going into uni, and this is probably going to be the only time in your life where you have control of how much time you use and how to utilize the 24 hours you have in every day. So outside of uni, you get a job, you've got 9 to 5. You know, from 9 to 5, I have to be somewhere doing something. Whereas at uni, you got an assignment due in 3 weeks. Doesn't matter if you start doing the assignment now or you finish the assignment the weekend before it's due. It's all up to you and how you present it. And equally, that doesn't change the grade you kind of, well, it does, but in a way, it depends on a certain person. Like certain people will be like, oh, I only work well at night. So you can do that. You can manage your time. You can be like, I'll wake up at 1 a.m., do 3-4 hours every day, and sort of utilize that time. So it's kind of a time where you can manage your own time. And then on the side of that, after you've done and put in the time to do your uni work, you can start working on socializing and networking. So if you're thinking about, okay, I want to make movies. So you want to make movies, you've got a movie idea, you've got people studying how to be directors, you've got people studying how to do photography, you've got people studying how to do film work, and they all live 10 minutes away from you. So just network with the people around you. You got the equipment from uni, they can just hire that out and you can start making your series or your movie.
Okay. And what advice would you give to students, first year students starting at Bournemouth University?
Bournemouth specifically, definitely priority number one is join a society. Join a society and learn, or join as many societies as possible, and make use of first year, because first year for most subjects it doesn't even count, but it helps for your placement. So don't just write it off and be like, oh yeah, I'll get 40%, because when you're starting to try to look for a placement, yeah, they're gonna ask you what you get in your first year. So think about that. But at the same time, first year is sort of the year where you get your foot in, and everyone knows that you need to get your foot in. You need to get the partying out. You need to get that socializing out. You need to have the most fun, sort of, in first year. So that's your chance to let loose and do as much stuff as you want, experience as much new stuff as you want, and kind of sort of see what you like and what you don't like.
And what advice would you give to first year students about to study a computing course?
Studying a computing course, I would say good choice, because this is where we're heading. Everything's all online, so made a good decision. But yeah, kind of have to utilize it, and kind of have to. The whole point of the degree is for you to specialize and understand. Okay, I'm good at this, and I'm not good at that. You can either be good at like networking, or you can focus on networking, like be a sysadmin. You can focus on data mining and data stuff, or you can focus on front end stuff. You can do web development, app stuff, or you can kind of do a computing degree and just pick a bit of everything, but at the same time, you still need to know where your strengths and your weaknesses are. And that's kind of what the degree is built for you to do. So definitely during the first, because the first year you get to touch on every single aspect of IT. So you've got a bit of networking, you've got a bit of data-based stuff, you've got programming straight up Java. So while you're doing that, see where you're getting your highest grades, what you're doing best in, what you're not doing best in, so that in second year you make the right decisions and progress.
So, while at university, did you acquire any jobs?
Yes, I was working at Tesco as an online shopper.
Do you suggest working at Tesco as an online shopper? Was it a good job, bad job while at university?
Definitely for students, because my job started, if you're up for it, my job started at like 6 a.m. and then finished at 10 a.m. on any type of day that you want. So if it starts at 6, ends at 10, if you don't have lectures until like 1 or something like that, you're good to go. And it's in a nice little spot where you can go out and then go to work, or you can, after going to work, sort of chill out if you don't have anything on that day, and then go out at night. So it's really catered towards, it's really a job that is kind of catered towards students and student life. So definitely
And
suggest that.
while at university, did you join any societies?
Yes, I was on the rugby team. I did ACS and also did volleyball in my final year.
Do you suggest them? So, you obviously went to university over an apprenticeship / going right into work. What made
Mhm.
you choose university?
Well, for my chosen area, so computing and computer science, I felt like after A levels, I needed more info, like sort of more teaching on, because I hadn't specialized at that time. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to get into, and I didn't want to get boxed into just becoming like a software engineer and knowing nothing else. Like, oh, there's also networks, there's also doing data mining stuff, there's also front end and back end stuff that you can go into. So I felt like getting a degree where I explore all the other options and all the other things that surround IT would be better than getting an apprenticeship where they kind of pigeonhole you into doing one thing, make you specialize straight away, and then you kind of don't know if you're any good at other aspects of a topic or if you're not. And also networking and socializing, like uni is the best place for that. That's literally part of the reason you go uni, is to just build your network of people and friends to start future ventures with.
So, could you tell us now, obviously you finished university, what your plans
Mm.
are?
Plans at the moment, I've been applying to jobs. I'm getting calls and stuff like that to get into and start interviewing and start the process of being an adult, really. But currently, I'm definitely trying to work on my side hustles. So right now, I'm developing websites for people, and I've got a couple apps that I'm bunkering down to get into and should be delivering before the end of the year. And hopefully, if they're successful, will be sort of game changers. Yeah, so that's yeah. That I can't really talk too much about them, obviously, but definitely gonna be planning on doing big things.
Would you say because of your course, you found it very easy to find a job / as you said, side hustles, or do you think do you think you've done something specifically to give yourself an advantage over other graduates?
It's kind of a yes for both of those, because within IT, and if you want to become a software developer, there's more jobs for software developers than there are actual people who know how to develop software at this current moment in time. So the demand, I'm going on these job hunting places and they're saying, oh, we just want a 2-2, we accept any grade, we just need people who know how to code, we can teach you a little bit and you can go into it. So as far as computing goes, it's one of those jobs where, it's one of those careers where if you have a degree in it and you're looking for a job, you can find one. It's just about how well it suits you. So doing the degree, it's kind of like a guaranteed job if you are good at computing or computer science stuff. That's definitely guaranteed. On top of that, having a placement year puts me like having a placement year in any degree just puts you above other people because you actually have like real world experience and you can talk about, okay, I actually worked in a company and this is what I learned and this is what it taught me. And in addition to that, doing the placement year and then you come back to uni, it sort of helps you get motivated to finish your degree and do your dissertation and everything like that, because you know, okay, I was in placement, maybe I liked it, maybe I didn't, but I know if I want to do a job like that or a better job like that, I need to do better in my final year. So let me just focus up.
Okay. So at this point, we let students have what I call a free for all, where you can say what you want, what you like. You could say advice, you could give tips, you could say good things, you could say bad things. Literally, whatever you like to say, you can say. You can put your @, so where people can find you, LinkedIn's, Instagrams, YouTubes, literally, whatever you like. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity. It was great, just having something like this where I can just express how the uni experience is happening. And hopefully, it helps loads of people. So, thanks for doing this. Hopefully, you get a lot more people on and keep doing the good work that you're doing. So that's first and foremost. Right now, I was working on a podcast, so you can go check that out. The Highly Uneducated podcast, just talking about uni life and all that other stuff. I'm doing web everywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, literally everywhere. The Highly Uneducated podcast at the Highly Uneducated.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the Highly Uneducated on everything like Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So we've got that. I'm working on websites and apps at the moment. So if anyone needs a website or an app, just get at me. Alistair.
On Instagram.
On Instagram it's just Alistair_01.
Okay.
So ALISTAIR_01. If you need a website or an app, just get at me. I'll do that for you. And yeah, that's basically it. But
so if you just want to end the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Amazing. Thank you.